165. Okay guys, so our first meal here is going to be oatmeal and eggs. Now what you're going to need obviously is oatmeal, eggs, but what I'm going to tell you to do here, see these? You get these over at Shoppers Drug Mart for $1.50. Most grocery stores, they sell them for $3.50. So Shoppers Drug Mart has a pricing strategy on these to get people into the store to buy more things. So what you do is just get these. You don't have to get other stuff in that store. You know, you don't. You just need to go in and get the eggs. It's just an attraction thing. Anyway, I ramble a lot. Sorry, forgive me for that. I like to talk business. Okay, so what you do is you're going to have 3 whites and 3 whole eggs. What we're going to do is start off with separating the whites from the yolks. And you want to throw the whites in first in case one of these things bursts into your bowl. Now while you're doing this, what you probably want to do is take some corn oil or some olive oil. Put a little bit in your pan, don't grease the whole thing up. Put the oven on a medium heat. And what that's going to do is it's going to prepare the skillet for the proper heat so that when we go to put the eggs on, that hot skillet's going to be waiting for you. You're not going to have to wait for your whites to turn white. So yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3 whole eggs. Now what you're going to notice is that eggs have per one yolk, 195 milligrams of cholesterol. However, dietary cholesterol that you put into your body that you eat, that's not going to contribute to your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind. In fact, studies have shown that it's saturated in trans fats that are going to clog up your arteries, not this. So if you're worried about, you know, your cholesterol, how about you stop eating so many chips? Don't eat things with trans fats such as like sausage, that sort of thing, like heavy animal fats, and just go with some eggs. Now I've got 3 yolks in here. Depending on the amount of fats that you need for the day, you can add more yolks or take them away. I usually don't go more than 3 or 4. More isn't going to hurt you unless you're going above and beyond your fat macros for the day. So I'm going to wash my hands. We're going to put that in there and then we're going to do the oats. Okay, so now for your oats, what you're going to do is, depending on how much you need, I usually do half a cup because I'm cutting. When I'm bulking, I'll do a little bit more usually. So you get your oats. These are, just get the regular kind, the no-name brand, because if you look at the ingredients here, it's all it says is rolled oats. That does not make any kind of difference between companies. Anyway, so you take your half cup of oats, put it in the pot, and then you go over to the sink. You take double whatever your oats were in water. So half a cup of oats, 1 cup of water. So for the oats, what you're going to do is you're going to put the oats at max heat because these cook very quickly. Yeah. So the skillet should be warm enough by now. There you go. Now, if you're bulking, what I like to do is I like to, instead of even using oil, I'll take a little bit of bacon, usually 3 or 4 strips, and line the pan with it. Cook the bacon until it's sort of half ready, and what you're going to notice is that the bacon creates its own oil so that you don't have to waste actual corn oil or olive oil. And then what you do is you just throw the eggs in on top of them, straight on top of them. And then that way you kind of have what my friend Beard Bra likes to call a bacon egg clusterfuck. So pretty much when you're tending to the eggs, you can scramble them if you want, but I usually just like them over easy. Okay, and when the oats start to steam, take them off the grill, turn the oven off, and when the eggs start to harden to your desired preference, then that's when you take them off. You can throw some sugar on your oats if you want. Just keep it reasonable. A little bit isn't going to hurt, but if you put like more than a tablespoon on, it's over. I mean, you might as well be eating like Frosted Flakes or something. But some things that you can put on your oats: cinnamon, calorie free, tastes really good. You can also try stevia, which is almost calorie free, and it's extremely sweet. Now you only need a little bit of this because it is very, very sweet. Now honey is not calorie free. In fact, it's just as bad as sugar if you're trying to watch your sugars, if you're diabetic or something. But it's got a little bit of a different taste from sugar, and it's significantly less refined. Alright guys, so we got our first meal of the day right there. Now usually, actually, before I made this video, I had a cup of coffee. I put a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cream in it. Are not going to hurt anybody. If you need to be tracking that sort of thing, there's something seriously wrong with your diet. However, if you have 4, 5, 6 of those, you definitely have to count them. And especially if you put sugar in your coffee too. I had a packet of sugar, so yeah, I actually do track my sugar for the day. And that's because if it was just a little bit, I wouldn't worry about it. But, you know, 2 packs is quite a bit. So anyway, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to do a little bit of work, and then I'm going to get back at you guys. Alright, hello again, my friends. By the way, I just wanted to say, big fucking shout out to Alex Strongman. This guy doesn't have nearly as many followers as he should. He's got about 2,000. But, hey, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to help me kind of get back on track. You know, say some words that kind of get me back into the game. So, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, so basically, the next meal is going to be sweet potato and tuna. That's about as bro as it's gonna get, okay? So, you get your tuna, just a can of tuna. Jeez. Someone's in a hurry out there, I think. Yeah, so you get your canned tuna. You can just get this at the store. You don't even have to prepare it, you just open it and eat. People are often worried about mercury poisoning from tuna. That's not something that I've ever encountered. I've gone through phases where I've eaten 2 cans of it per day. I wouldn't go any more than that just to be on the safe side, but that's 60 grams of protein. And you do want to get your protein from multiple sources because, quite frankly, you're going to get bored of a certain kind if you just eat it and eat it and eat it. Like chicken breast is one thing that I have gone through phases where I've gone almost entire days where I've just eaten that, and I'm quite frankly sick of that shit. So anyway, the tuna, you don't even have to prepare it, you just get a can opener, boom, it's open. So what you do with the sweet potato is you wash it first, just to be on the safe side, get all that stuff off of it, and then take a fork and then poke some holes in it, just so that it doesn't explode while it's in the microwave. Then basically what you do is you take a paper towel, take your sweet potato and you wrap it a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, exact or anything, but just throw it in the microwave. Depending on how big it is, make it for 8 minutes to 11 minutes. I'm putting it on for 10. Now, if you put it in for too long, then obviously, you know, you can't undo the fact that you've already cooked it. So if you want to be on the safe side, undercook it first, and then if it needs to be cooked more, then throw it in for a few more minutes. Alright, here we go, guys. So let's see here. I had that in for about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to open up the sweet potato, and if it feels really solid, I'm going to put it in for another minute and a half. But no, it feels great. It feels nice and soft, nice and moist, which means that we can turn on our digital scale and weigh it out. Ow, fuck. This shit is hot, by the way, so, you know, do not underestimate the heat. This will hurt you. Okay, so you can keep the skin for another dish if you want. A lot of people, what they do is they'll make like chips out of it. Big thing is that this is where a lot of the fiber comes from, so if you're really concerned about that, you might want to consider, you know, eating this along with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out. I don't like wasting food, but that's not part of this recipe. So I've got about 210 grams of sweet potato. Now, sweet potato is carotenoid, so basically it's got beta carotene in it. Pretty much anything orange, right? Carrots, oranges, tomatoes actually. Those sort of vegetables have beta carotene in it, and those, oh, my head's cut off, man. Sweet potato, carrots, anything orange really. Tomatoes, I know they're not orange, calm the fuck down. I know my colors, guys, but anything like that, it's going to help you reduce your rates of cancer. Also, your body needs it to function, so there's that. Now, what I have here is almond butter. Now, I am slightly allergic to almonds, so please pray for me that I don't die. This is my first time trying it. Heard it's tasty. Oh god, this is fucked. Okay then, so what we're actually going to do, this is nice and crusty, so we're not going to use this. Now we've got some natural peanut butter here. So the reason that we're using natural peanut butter as opposed to just normal peanut butter here is just purely because of the texture. It really doesn't matter, guys, what kind of peanut butter you use, almond butter, processed, whatever. If you like it chunky, then by all means go ahead, extra creamy, whatever. The macros don't make too much of a difference. That being said, though, if you eat a lot of peanut butter, you may want to consider switching to natural simply because of the hydrogenated vegetable oil. Really highly processed fat, and yeah, just a thought. So what we're going to do is we're going to get about a tablespoon of natural peanut butter, and we're going to throw it into the mix here. There we go. And the heat from the sweet potato is going to help break down that peanut butter and dissolve it into the mixture. So the next thing that we need is our cinnamon. So you throw a little bit of cinnamon on the top, and FYI, like I said before, cinnamon does not have calories. So the last thing that we're going to have here is some stevia. Now, you saw me put sugar in my porridge and sugar in my coffee. Why aren't I putting sugar on this? Well, the difference is that this tastes, I find, it tastes better when you put this on sweet potato. Now, like I said, you do not need much. Look at this. I'm not even using a teaspoon. Just a little bit with my hands, and yeah, that's about it. That's all we need on there. So then, pretty much, you just mash it down and you mix it up. All right, and you'll be on your way to having a great little treat. And this is a sweet sort of thing. So I like to pair this with, believe it or not, I like to pair it with chicken breast and hot sauce. All right, guys, meal number 2. Got my tuna and my sweet potato here. So I'm about to go to the gym actually, so I'm going to eat this. And it's important to get your carbs before you train in any capacity, so make sure that you get about, I'd say, 100 grams of carbs, or or so, depending on what your diet looks like. If you're dieting on 50 grams of carbs, well, I mean, I guess that sucks, doesn't it? Okay, check me out, guys. So for breakfast, you see what I had here. You go on MyFitnessPal, you just plug the numbers in, and then boom, you have all of the macros. That last meal of 46 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, and 35 grams of protein, and then you got that banana that I had there. And then the totals, as you can see, disregard this right here. It just automatically generates it for you, and you can't change it to what you want it to be unless you're a premium member. Alright, so what I'm cooking here is a piece of steak, and in the oven I've got some potatoes just chopped up. If you want to see my potato wedge recipe, leave a comment below, but for right now, this is what I'm about to cook. Now, you might be wondering, where are the potatoes? Well, I kind of forgot that potatoes take a little bit longer to cook in the oven than this, so I was excruciatingly hungry. So I thought I would just go ahead and eat this now and then get my potatoes later. In the meantime, I'm going to watch some Netflix. Alright, so this is my potatoes. I've got a bit of ketchup on them too. And I'm watching, that's right, Fist of the North Star. I'm a really big fan of anime, and I'm also a really big fan of muscles. And this show has both. It was a pretty violent scene. Hopefully I don't get deleted from YouTube for putting that up. You may be wondering, what is this? This is 2 pre-made pancakes, the frozen kind, with some E.D. Smith's pancake syrup, low calorie. The reason that I'm eating this is not because it's a cheat meal, but I'm actually about 400 calories under where I should be today, so to make sure that I don't waste any of my muscle, I'm going to have a little snack here. Another one. Close enough.